strong, fierce, dominant Gogan of Major League Wrestling. That's the best part of the whole thing, right there, right? Yeah, exactly, man. Just give that look and all. There you go. What's it like, Ben, for you with Major League Wrestling?
Well, this is literally my first weekend, so this was my debut weekend. It's a lot of fun. It's exciting. It's the next chapter for me. So I'm very, very happy thus far. Very impressed with the company, with everyone involved. It's definitely a team and a group effort, and everybody involved seems to be on the same page as far as what they're trying to do as far as growing, the company as a whole. And I couldn't be happier than to be here right now and be a part of this.
How did you get your break here with Major League Wrestling?
I sent out basically a resume probably about a year ago. I'm not sure if that's how they found me, or if somebody saw me and maybe mentioned me. I haven't been told that backstory yet. Hopefully I will find out. But we started talking probably around August, and back and forth for about a month, and decided on, agreed on everything, and picked a date, and so here we are. It's first, November the 9th, November 10th now. So it moved pretty fast. It doesn't seem like it moved fast from the time we started talking to now, but it really did, and so it was, it's awesome. Sometimes things just happen, and you don't really know how they happen, but I'm gonna take the ball and run with it, and then see where it takes me.
What did you send them?
I sent them, just my history as far as professional wrestling. I sent them some matches and some pictures, and that was really it.
How did you get your start in the business?
I wrestled for East Georgia College, and at the time there was a professor at the college that also ran independent wrestling shows in Georgia, and he saw me in the gym, and he asked me had I ever had any interest in professional wrestling, and of course, I'd been a fan my whole life and loved it, loved the business, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. And he said, well, you should come try it, and that was it. I started training and never looked back. I've been doing it for 12 years. So,
where did you train, and who do you credit for training?
Training-wise, I started in Swainsboro, Georgia, a very, very small independent promotion. Back then. There wasn't really a social media to go out and kind of hunt for schools, and there wasn't many wrestling schools available to me in the area. So, it was just more or less I got trained by the guy who was at that promotion the most, and his name was Sean Hunter. He and I are still friends to this day. But yeah, I credit him with breaking me in and teaching me the basics. And as far as training goes, training never stops. It's constantly evolving. Wrestling's constantly evolving, and I'm learning every weekend. I'm learning something new. Everywhere I go, from the different people I meet. There's a coach in everybody, because everybody sees it differently. And if you realize that, and you recognize that, I think you only benefit yourself in the way you go.
Who are some of your favorites?
Growing up, my definite number one favorite was Sting. I was a Vader fan, obviously Undertaker. I always kind of gravitated towards the bigger guys because I am a big guy. I'm 6'10". So yeah.
Solid 6'10".
Yeah. So yeah, I gravitated towards those larger than life characters, and because I saw myself in them. And yeah. So.
Where did you go to high school?
Toombs County High School. That's in Lyons, Georgia. Probably unknown to most of the world. Most of the world is familiar with that because of the Vidalia Onion.
So you big fan of the Onion then?
Yeah, of course. Well, that's the only thing we've got to put us on the map, man. That's it.
So when you have your steak or you have your hamburgers, you have to have some onion on it, right?
Some onion on it. But no, a very, very small town in rural Georgia. Pretty much somewhere between Macon, Georgia, and Savannah, Georgia. If you got to put your finger on a map. But yeah, grew up in a small town, so once I got into wrestling and I started traveling, it was a very interesting world outside of that. But I think I was meant for it.
You adapted quickly.
I don't think
to city life.
Yeah, very, very quickly.
It's interesting too, because you could become the most famous person then from your city, if not already.
Well, you say that, but man, we've got, there's been, there's a country singer, and his name, it slips my mind at the moment, but he come from there. We've had several professional football players come out of there, and so it's kind of a breeding ground for stars, man.
Little known, right?
Yeah.
Did you play? Well, go ahead.
No, you either get in or you stay. Like that's it. If you get out, then you become something. So.
Did you play in football?
I did. I played football in high school, and actually before I wrestled in college, I went to Georgia Southern University to play football, and just
good Division I AA,
right,
really good
right.
football program.
And I was just kind of burnt out. Football really wasn't for me. Surprising, well, this may not be surprising, but I didn't like not being the standout. I wanted to be singled out, so I think that's why wrestling, I liked it more, because win or lose, it was on me. So I think that's why when I left football and transferred, the wrestling thing kind of just happened, and it was perfect because I was like, yeah, this is great, this is what I want to do. So that kind of built the platform for what I'm doing now and being on the center stage and kind of in the spotlight.
Did you finish college?
I did. I have a associate degree in psychology, and I intended to. Well, I got a little background in computer electronics. I kind of just touched on different things in my college years, and was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. Obviously, the one thing I wanted to do the most was wrestling because I stuck with it, through it all. But yeah, it was good experience. I think the psychology has definitely helped me in this world because it's such a psychological business, and people skills. It's a business of people, and you have to be able to work with people and people from different backgrounds and different religious background, everything. There's a ton of different people that are in this. So having that and the ability to understand and get along and work with anyone has definitely benefited me.
And that's interesting because pro wrestlers or athletes, some have theater backgrounds, entertainment type backgrounds too,
right.
And basically you're bringing a different element with psychology,
right.
Because wrestling is bringing psychology as
right.
well, and psychology and all,
right.
And that's something that, like you said, you're able to parlay that into something, which leads me to this though. If you weren't wrestling, do you know what field then you would want to be in?
I don't know. Yeah, because that's all I think about. That's my entire mindset is driven on this, and because of that, anytime I think about what I would be doing outside of this, I literally get lost because I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I wasn't. I put 100% of myself into whatever I'm doing, and I feel like that's the only way to achieve success at anything you're doing. Because if you're trying to do 100 different things, then you're only ever going to be okay at those things, but you're never going to be great at that one thing. So no, it's wrestling or bust at this point.
How do you feel about the business as it is today? There's so much wrestling out there on TV, social media, everywhere. How do you feel about your time now in the business?
I think it's better than it's ever been. I really, really love that there's so much content and so many different styles that fans can get into. And you have those fans that they love it all. You have fans that only like one thing. You have fans that only like this thing. But what that does is it just creates these worlds where they compete. Now you've got the fans are competing with one another about who's better. What's better? Well, my product's better. This is a better product. This is the better product. And all that does is just create more buzz for us. And because of that, that's why you see so much out there now, is because everybody wants what they want. And we're giving it to them in some way. And I really think MLW does such a great job at giving them a little bit of it all. And you've got fighters, you've got grapplers, you've got hardcore guys. It's all there.